Good morning. You're welcome. This is the Grapevine here on Smooth 98.1. Here we give you information. We are your curators of entertainment information and we give our comments as well. You're welcome. I'm Ayo Mairo Ese.
And I'm Valentine Ohu.
I know some of you have been waiting for this segment and putting your hands together and excited.
Because it's cold and we're about to drop it hot.
hot. And Chef Jeff, we have Chef Jeff in the studio.
Yeah.
All right.
I love you 3000.
Hey.
Now, the Grapevine is brought to you by Verve, and right now we're going to be reviewing some songs this morning, and also, of course, our stories are ready and hot and fresh. If you'd like to watch the videos we'll be reviewing this morning, please go on Twitter. We're on Twitter at Smooth91FM.
Yes, on WhatsApp, the number is 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981.
All right. Okay, so let's go on very straight to our first video of today. Now, I don't know if we should do this first because we're meant to have him in the studio. But
all right, we can flip it.
Let's flip it. Okay, so this one is popular. By the way, happy Father's Day to everyone. It's not too late to say that. So happy Father's Day, Chef Jeff and Valentine.
Thank you.
Happy future fathers.
We took it anyhow.
Although Valentine has, there've been a couple of lookalikes that we've been seeing.
I know, right? You've been spotting them somewhere.
And then they were marketing themselves recently this weekend. This guy and Shola, all this sauce they were trying to sell.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
No, but the thing about it is, I need to dwell on that for a second.
Please dwell.
The fact that we are fresh as we are, we need to understand that there are possible baby mamas out there
who are looking.
So
So you're trying to it's supply and demand.
You know what we're going to do?
These genes are sacred.
We're going to post that picture now and use the hashtag Grapevine981. The picture of Valentine and Shola Thompson, and there was a little poll right there. That who would you date? Who would you? Maybe let's.
Yeah, it was
marry
like for one.
Versus brother zone. So please go onto our Twitter page at Smooth91FM. Use the hashtag Grapevine981.
And just check the pictures. You find it there.
All right, now talking about fathers, Johnny Drill did a clever one. He released the song Papa last week, just before Valentine, a poignant ode to fathers.
Just before Father's Day. Before Valentine.
Did I say Valentine's
Yes.
Day? Oh gosh, Father's Day. I'm all about love.
It's okay. I can be a role model for fathers.
All right.
No.
All right. So now the lyrics tackle his feelings of missing home after leaving his hometown of Benin City. Now I must say something. The first time he performed this song was at Johnny's room, and I was there. His dad was there. It was such a beautiful moment. So please listen and tell us what you think about this song, Papa by Johnny Drill.
So nice. Let's go. Max, you're up.
All right, so that's Papa by Johnny Drill. Just a teaser there. Like we mentioned, if you want to watch the full video, go onto our Twitter page. But guys, what are your thoughts? Oh, I'm the only girl in the middle, actually.
No.
I mean, like you said, the timing was spot on, perfect. I was wondering myself whether his father was in the video too. I mean, for me, the starting point were the violins. Once the strings came out, like shivers, okay, Johnny. And then I now see the shoe he's wearing, like Johnny, that is my size. The timing is perfect. I'm so proud of this guy. I'm really, really proud of this guy. I love his material, and I love how I was like, okay, we should be exporting this guy. Okay, no, he's not speaking pidgin English. And then like second verse, and now comes into play. Like you see, yeah, we should be exporting this guy. But the message is clear. I mean, it's really the video adds so much weight to what is already a powerful song. I mean, it will get you emotional. It's a prayer that you would want to have for your father, a prayer you want to have for yourself, that you're able to, I mean, just be there and see him every year and be able to have that opportunity to say that carries a lot of weight. I don't know what else to say. I'm so proud of this guy. And then the choral arrangement that he has in the background as well. Fantastic. So proud.
It doesn't quite help that the weather is cold this morning because I felt chills. I got the chills listening to it again this morning, and it was really nice to hear. Johnny Drill, for one, has impressed me consistently about how he's consistent with his work, and he's always very visible on social media. The thing I enjoy is the pieces that he puts out on Instagram.
Yeah, when he does the covers and stuff like that as well.
It's really nice to see hardworking Nigerians making it look easy. And I like Johnny Drill did this dedication. It couldn't have come at a better time.
Absolutely.
And the strings, like you said, Chef Jeff, boy.
I mean, the thing was,
What did you
and it
think
was a
about the
live
video?
recording as well. I mean, there were some elements where there were also live recordings
Yes,
of that.
exactly. And the video was very surreal. And it told a good story.
It adds so much weight to the song. It really, really does. It really, really does.
The video was shot by Clarence Peters, so I mean, you'd understand. The only thing I didn't like was that I thought his dad would be in the video. You mentioned that. Chef Jeff.
I don't know what his dad looks like, so I think that was gonna be the ultimate question I was gonna have.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he was.
No, but I think
wanted to
that-
single him out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, anyway, if you were there when he first played the song and his dad was there as well, that would have been a special moment.
Yes,
That would have
yes.
been the grandest moment out of everything. And
Yes.
remember, sometimes special moments are between you and somebody else, not necessarily out
Exactly.
there in the public.
Yeah.
As much as it's a poignant ode to fathers all around the world.
Yeah, totally. Now, for me, it was a great, like I mentioned, great movie. But I love Johnny Drill. I doubt if he can do any wrong in my books, and his voice is just divine. So, like you mentioned, great song. But we want to hear your thoughts on this one. It's not just about us in the studio. Tell us what you think about the song. You might have heard it, or you might just be listening to it for the first time today. Please tell us. I think OJ.
Yes, OJ sent in a message from Banana Island right now. He said, "Good morning, guys. Thank you for being so amazing.
Aw.
Johnny performed the song live in my church, Elevation
yes, I
Church." He
saw
said
that.
on Father's Day, "Geez, it was breathtakingly amazing. The song is amazing. His delivery was amazing. His voice. He said Johnny is a world-class artist, someone whom I have no doubt will get a Grammy. I also had a chat with his instrumentalists, and they only had good things to say about his personality, and I do
Yeah.
believe that."
Oh, nice one. Okay, thanks a lot for that review, OJ. If you want to review that song, you can still do that. But time to move on to our next song. We tried to wait for you, guys, but unfortunately, you're not still here.
Can we call out these two? I'm sorry, it's no personal attack, but guys, it's really simple. Get here earlier, have coffee, and then be on time for the show.
So our email
It's too routine.
says leave at least 2 hours before the show.
Some of them are leaving like 20 minutes before, thinking that they can cross the mainland bridge and tell you that I'm just on a Jolly or
Sometimes
or
traffic
something.
in Lagos is
Traffic.
unpredictable.
I forgive Hotyce because traffic.
Why?
But let's go on to his song. Maybe his song, listening to his song will make you forgive him. But Hotyce has I Did Tell You and has Ghetto in it. So the visuals for the single I Did Tell You from the Red Hot Ice Cold Volume 1 is officially out. It's produced by CIQ and directed by Oscar Media. Let's hear it.
He made it.
He's here. Right on time.
You made it.
Coming.
Oh, please,
Come and sit. Lakumi, please arrange your chair.
Can he so that? No, you can just move your chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the chair. That's it.
Okay, ready?
Good morning, everybody.
Ready? Max are up. Make yourself comfortable, Hotyce. Studio. Mics are up.
Hotyce with I Did Tell You, and guess who just walked in now? The song was
He was so
about to
lucky.
play. He was so lucky. Hello, Hotyce.
Yo, hello, y'all.
I can see the rain on your glasses.
Man,
You're so lucky.
on a very wet Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Well, it's good to have you in the studio,
Man.
Hotyce.
The pleasure is always mine.
So should we go with you first, or maybe we'll tell you what we think, and then you come back and maybe justify or respond to all
I think the latter.
The latter, right?
Yes.
Hi.
Alright, so Chef Jeff, what's your take on this song?
All right, so we are talking hot as I tell you. For starters, bro, this your shoe being on the table. I have to
Crazy,
serve.
right?
I have to serve food on that table, though. So let's not do that again. I mean, the delivery is nice. And I feel like, for me, my question to you is like, what was the blend? Because I get that the song is about they play a song in the ghetto, but you're not living or you're not from the ghetto, so to speak. So I guess that was why you had all those interspersed, lucky area kind of things coming in that as well.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a good video. Your delivery is on point. That's one of your standard things. But I felt like, you know, your camera guy, I wanted to see more of the color pop in this, because when I look at, for instance, your red light song, or we don't do that over here, for instance, or even like how you popped up here, it didn't quite pop as much as I wanted it to do in this video, to be honest.
Yeah, man. You know, sometimes going back and forth with the video production, especially when it has to do with, you know, a video that involves going into the slums and things like that, it gets very hectic because you have different sects coming and saying, okay, we represent this squad, you know, you need to sort us out. You need to, like, we stopped halfway deep into the shoot because we had problems from different people, so we had to sort that out. So it got to a point where it was no more we're trying to shoot a video. It got to a point where it was more of like, let's just get this stuff
as quickly as
possible, you know, run out
leave
with
it,
it, leave. So I think that actually affected part of the production and stuff like that.
You know, many people don't know just how much work. You know, it's good to have you speak about these things, so we see the effort that goes into producing a 5-minute or 4-minute video.
Because I actually went back to the director and I was like, okay, can you do a little bit more magic on the color grading and stuff like that? And he did what he could do.
I liked the serial part. You know how they transpose the image and then infuse it into the real set, the next scene. I like that part. It was very. I'm very akin to graphics when it comes to that, especially with animation. And I'm a bit biased here because this guy is my homie, right? The last time we saw was when
2016.
See, he remembers.
2016.
It's amazing how far you've come, and I never had doubts one day. I had issues. I had issues holding strong to the belief that you probably break through the Lagos music scene, and you know I was just struggling with holding on to that belief. And then after a while, when I heard the song you collaboration did with Jesse Jags, I beat my chest and said, okay, this guy, he holds his own. I listened to that song until it cracked in my car. Played that CD over and over.
I know we talked about it here when it came out that time.
We did. So I was very glad. At first it was Port Harcourt that we met, and then he came through from Abuja at the time. You know, we're doing music very strongly that people knew, but when he got into Port Harcourt, I remember the little brief moment of struggling to blend in with the community, and then you held on.
And funny thing is, like, Port Harcourt for me is like, I've never been to Port Harcourt like one-on-one. So I don't know how it's music though. At the end of the day, universal language. So
All right. Okay, so we'll go on a break. We'll come back and would love to still speak to you a little bit more and also take the stories that we have this morning. When we come back, Grapevine is still here. Tell us what you think about the songs we reviewed this morning.
You're lucky. You made it to the time. Good to see you, guy. Do you know the first time we met? 2009. 2008, 2009. Back then.
I think 2016 we spoke about that day.
Radio Nigeria.
Where you Radio Nigeria? You're a veteran, Valentine.
It's a vet.
My sister was there as well.
It's a vet, man.
Long time, guy.
What's your sister's name?
Jeff. Paula.
Paula Kano.
Hey man, welcome. How heavy is the rain though?
Very heavy.
Heavy.
Quite heavy.
Oh wow. Wow, I didn't know, you didn't tell us that.
I've been
Hi, my name is Dakori, and I'm going to tell you about your favorite Milo Ready to Drink. Milo Ready to Drink is made from the natural goodness of milk, malt, and cocoa, and fortified with essential vitamins and minerals, so I can now pack the winning energy of Milo.
Are they a sponsor now
children's lunchboxes.
of the show?
So, Moms,
no.
what are you waiting for? Make sure your
Mix and
child
match
is
like
always
different
ready to
ads.
win.
We should get these people in.
And the Big Brother
Yes,
thing. I'm that been inundated with Big Brother stories. Gosh.
Yep. Because they reached out to the sponsor.
Oh, they do. Oh, okay.
Big Brother.
Oh,
I met
okay.
this
African
very
Magic.
young, so I turned back and came home.
Right.
What's that?
Oh.
A bottle of Maltina?
Yes, Dad. One for you and one for me.
Wait, where's the fuel money?
Well,
What?
relax, Dad. I bought the fuel already.
Everyone has their little pleasures. Find yours. Share happiness.
This is what love truly means to me.
Love, it's a beautiful thing.
Love is freedom, and you can't hold it
Can we
back
come back
when
with
it
a
takes
message?
over you.
Yeah, yeah.
So let love reign and spread it to the
Studio.
world. This love
Mics up. Studio silence, please.
is for myself.
Yes, from Johnny Drill and the Smooth family, this is the Grapevine here on Smooth 98.1. We have Hotyce in the building.
Yeah.
Before the break, we heard the songs from Hotyce, and of course, that one was titled "I Did Tell You," Ghetto, and the new, and it's a video as well. The new music and video, Papa from Johnny Drill. That a message in.
All right, so Jane here says, as long as it's Johnny, I am sold.
And Tonya sent in a message from T-Dash from Magodo, says Hotyce is the truth in the booth and in person. Humble dude, cold on the mic, great music. Love that Johnny Drill song, by the way. Calling my dad after the show, just to hear for sure.
That's really
We
nice.
Shout out
love
to
that
you.
we inspire you.
Absolutely lovely. So, Hotyce, what's your what project? I know you released this song, the video. You
Yeah.
received love from it. Saw it on YouTube. People's comments loving the song. But what should we expect from you? Like Valentine mentioned, how are you breaking the Lagos?
More videos, more pop-up shows, and I'm definitely gonna try my best to reach out, outside the shores of the country
Okay.
to see what I could do,
Mm.
more collaborations and touch down different places in person.
Mm.
So that's basically it, man. Pushing the project further.
So you've conquered Port Harcourt, Lagos. Where's the next city?
Coachella.
I love it.
I like that.
Just don't complain about the font size of your name.
How's the reaction to your hair, though?
My hair,
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Mm.
my hair.
Yeah, how many times have you been stopped? And
I don't know, man. I'll say I'm one of those lucky dudes that don't really have to encounter. I only had one issue with the cops.
yeah,
I think that was just yesterday.
yeah.
It wasn't even about my hair.
Did they say you look like Marley?
Actually.
You got some
No.
Actually.
But there was a time I stopped over to get gas,
Yeah.
and some chick was passing in her whip, and she was like, "No, Molly." So I knew it was because
What
of
was
the
your
hair.
reaction?
I was like, "Nah, man, I know."
That's
Come on, man. And my hair's natural, by the way.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
so is mine as well, actually. I thought I'd just point that out
Says
there.
the shiny
Let's say
dog
that,
one.
All right, okay, so let's go to our first story of the day. We are still going to be talking about Naira Marley later on today, since you mentioned him. But Father's Day was on Sunday, so like we said earlier on, happy Father's Day to everyone. Do you have a child?
No, I don't.
All right.
Lost my pops
Oh.
on Christmas Day last year.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
It wasn't difficult for you this year.
It was
It
kind
will
of
be.
difficult.
Mm.
It was kind of difficult because I had to go bury him in February.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Our condolences. Right, so now some celebrities went on Instagram, on social media, to celebrate the men in their lives. For some it was their fathers, for others it was their husbands.
Mm.
Timi Dakolo celebrated himself as a father, and then Tools also celebrated her husband, Tuni Jemiran, his first official Father's Day.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And
So-
Tonto Dike celebrated herself.
I was coming to that one because that one because her own celebration was different. Let's celebrate the positive ones first, and then Tonto Dike will come in next as she celebrated herself.
Yes.
Alright, so what's her name? Tools talked about the fact that she absolutely loves the man that he's becoming. Timi Dakolo talked about being a father is a lifetime commitment to love unconditionally, etc. But what do you guys think about this?
I'm like, we should be also celebrating our own. I mean, I want to be talking about James Silas and what he did. I want to be talking about
Yes.
Tunji Andrews and what he did.
Yes.
James' video of him and the son was so touching. You have to go check it out on Instagram. Let's talk about our own celebrities,
yes.
because we got fans of this show. Let's talk about ourselves.
Mhm.
For me, it was just like it's a blessing. I mean, I didn't really attach as much meaning to it as I did as a kid when you make the cards in your school and you take it to your dad and whatnot. But for me, I mean, like, my dad has outlived, I mean, he had only one sibling, that was my uncle. He has outlived my uncle by a few years. And I keep on hoping that he lives as old as my grandfather. And it's just a blessing to be able to say that every year, even if it's a text message or something. It's such a blessing because they've been through so much, and then he's still alive. He's still fully functional. Plays his tennis as though he's in his 20s. So for me, it's just like, fathers mean so much, and I feel like you give them that particular day of showing them as much love as you can, and be appreciative of it all.
All right.
It's
Val,
absolutely
did you
fantastic.
send your dad a message?
Of course, I called him. I spoke with him. And James, I was just reading his message, and to his father figures, two of them, and it's really, I can resonate with one of his messages to Big T, who's his record label owner. He works directly with him, and I could relate with those stories. It just takes me back in time. It's very interesting to hear the stories and different accounts from different people, but I'm very curious to hear what Tonto Dike said, though.
Right. So Tonto says that she's celebrating herself. Happy Father's Day, she wrote to all the amazing fathers out there, and all the deadbeats. Stay dead, she wrote.
Oh man.
Then she also, while sending her message, her ex-husband Churchill also had a special message. But let's talk about Tonto's message. I mean, Churchill had something lovely to say, obviously, but she goes on to say, "Happy Father's Day to me, an incredible woman with the heart of a lion." So obviously she's not a deadbeat because she wants to be alive. But let's talk about women and at least celebrities that we've heard of, like Tonto, who name and shame their husbands or their baby fathers on Instagram and on social media, come out to say, "Well, I'm the real father. I should be the one being celebrated."
You know what? The thing is that sometimes, divorces and whatnot, they continue for a while, and it might or it might not affect the child, but even if it does, the child hopefully grows out of it. There are fewer stories about the child having to resonate with that for the whole of their life, because at some point the child becomes an adult and just realizes they were not meant to be together, it was not working out, and they move on. But at the same time, don't come and start stepping in the male lane and being like, "Oh, happy Father's Day to myself." It does not apply to you at all whatsoever. You want to be naming and shaming the father of your child, that is your problem. That's your own loss as a person as well, because you are not showing. You don't have to talk. You don't have to address the matter. You really don't, because look at the child that you have. That came out of a time when there were things that were good between you, and that was the best thing. Since you're not together more, that's the best thing that happened out of that whole relationship there. And you're like, "Happy Father's Day to myself." I would love to have one day on this show when I could say something positive about Tonto Dike. Otherwise, madam,
Right,
lips
Hotyce,
closed.
I don't know if you know Tonto personally, or
No, I don't know her
but you
personally.
followed her story with
Well,
Churchill.
I don't follow things like that, but at least I know I have a slight idea of what Tonto and her husband.
Okay, but here's a question
Calling
in
him
my
a
mind.
4-minute man or 1 second.
Oh, you
man.
heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about
How
that, man.
How
I just think she's a troll. Like, she likes, trolling her husband.
I mean,
back to
your
back,
alleged 4-year man got you pregnant, so
I mean, so what was happening in her head while all those times were going on? I don't know. So,
So Hotyce, how many intended baby mamas are out there for you? Guy,
crickets.
You left him speechless.
oh man, I didn't see that coming.
You should
No.
You should
no.
have.
I have no baby mamas.
Please chop knuckle.
I have no baby
Thank you.
mamas.
Okay.
Val,
Why are you chopping? Okay, I haven't answered my question.
if he has no baby mamas,
How many are there in the horizon?
my
Intended.
Or
I
in the
said.
horizon.
Yes.
I have no clue.
okay,
no
take
clue.
that. Let me take that. Let me take that.
We have messages though on WhatsApp 0809440981. This one is from Martins and Ajay. Says, "Good morning, guys. Johnny Drill is the real deal. Still reacting to Papa. He said his songs are amazing. Papa is a classic and gives me an eargasm each time I listen to it." And Ziggy here says, "Hi guys, tuned in late. Red hot, ice cold. What's good? I'm a fan." Obina makes sure of it. I think Obina is his friend. On Tonto, happy Father's Day to her and every woman performing daddy duties.
You know, I feel very uncomfortable when you say Happy Father's Day to a woman, because honestly, on Mother's Day, you hardly find men who play the role of mother and father.
There you go. And if they did,
we celebrate
if
women.
they did,
like,
they would come like crazy against you. So then why does she get to go away with
I
that? That's
think
sexism right there.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
3 days.
It is.
You have 3 days to
Yeah.
celebrate yourself as a mother.
Yeah.
So let the men have the day,
Yeah.
please. Let
Can-
them have the day.
Can we move on now to this next
Let's, yeah,
story?
let's. It's just. I mean, away from Tonto Digi.
Yeah,
I just
please,
had to say that
please.
because it's apart from how a number of people also said Happy Father's Day to themselves.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go to Naira Marley.
Mhm.
Naira Marley has a message for Yahoo Boys after his release. So days after he was released from jail, after perfecting his bail conditions, the singer has reached out to Yahoo Boys. He said in a video published online on Sunday that he demanded some sort of compensation from Yahoo Boys, saying he went to jail because of them. So apparently, he is now a freedom fighter for Yahoo Boys. So he said, those of you that are Yahoo Boys are owing me money because am I a Yahoo Boy? No, I have gone to jail because of them. No, I mean, we all know what happened between Naira Marley and EFCC, the drama. But let's talk about him being the poster child and paying the price.
Being released on bail.
Does he think it's like, some sort of Yahoo Boy Jesus or what? I feel like I'm actually even tired of talking about this guy because it's like he gets attention every single week, and I'm still not getting
No, we didn't
anything
talk about him
that's
last week.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. But it was on the it was on the sheet, I think. But at the same time, it's just like, dude, calm down. Let things lie. Like, you go back to focusing on music instead of this whole. I don't know. I'm done with this guy, to be honest. I really am.
All right. So what do you think about the fact that he also plans at least something good from his arrest? He says he plans to help the defenseless people he met in jail. So he's going to go back. There's some people he met there who cannot defend themselves. He made this known too. So like it's almost like going to jail has made him see a part of himself that wants to make him an activist. What do you think about this?
But the thing is that these things are they are rampant. We know about these things happening, and that I wish him luck. I genuinely wish him luck in doing this because I don't think it's something that's going to be very easy to do. We have to change the legal system first of all, because right now we're still in a state whereby you can pay somebody to have somebody locked up for no reason and they will stay there, and that's it. And that is a true story there. So I wish him luck in a genuine sense, but I don't really see how far it's going to go. But at the same time, it's also still sends mixed messages. Yahoo Boy, and then somebody in jail, and then it's like
He said he's not Yahoo.
Well, the thing about it, I find that interesting. Towing the line of Kim Kardashian although Kim was not incarcerated, but I feel a sense that he heard some heart-wrenching stories from the fellow inmates in prison at the time. He heard the stories that touched his heart, and he felt he should dedicate. It's almost like making lemonade out of lemon. From his experience, he's had a chance to hear these stories, and he feels he will take it upon himself to actually fight their cause. But I'd love to see that happen. I would love to see the kind of support he will get from the government moving forward. And looking at you, your judgmentally by your statements, but I feel that would be a good cause. That would be a good way to spin his experience.
We might as well make him an ambassador for EFCC. Make him a brand ambassador.
Okay, while we're at it.
All right, while we're at this, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll have some more stories. Rugged Man is in the news, Army Day, as well as George Clooney. Or not.
Stay with us.
98.1.
Them to plug, when we come back,
Somebody already even commented. Date Valentine.
Wow, yeah. Milo, of course I knew that. Of course I knew that he was going to win. Even online, so the media guide reposted. Did you see that? Yeah, they did. Media guide reposted. Two fine boys. You guys are looking actually good.
I didn't see that.
I
You
think
did not give me photo credit, oh.
Tans.
was it you that took the
What is
picture?
true?
When I realized that's the one who got
Want to come and
posted
spoil
online.
our runs, I think. Somebody said, I'll take Val on a breakfast date and then take Bella on a dinner date.
Are you serious? And the person wasn't joking, no. If you give the person an opportunity, they will take you on a date.
Oh, wow.
I was being gisted yesterday about the new way things are being done
How?
in this country. How they just ask men out. I'm like, wow.
Ooh.
Like, the person tell me how many dates is going on that girls are paid for. They just say, that girls are shooting their shots now.
Nice.
Like,
Nice.
I said no, that me, I'm not. I don't.
Have you seen the recent population statistic?
No, men are not.
Say no.
No, but these days, like, ladies actually take guys out. And
Yeah, they
handle
do. This is
things.
feminism. That's why I'm not a feminist.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm not.
Wow.
My name is
I'm not.
That's new, right?
That's very new.
Wow.
It's
I'm
2019.
not.
That
I want
is
my
new.
dog
Even
to be
people
open
that
for me.
really don't understand
Yeah.
what's about like the claims to the feminists.
Why Rotis is a
Rotis
feminist,
is a
I mean.
feminist, yes.
That's his business. I'm a woman and I believe in equality. I'm an egalitarian. I want everyone to have equal opportunities, etc. But I think that, and like some people have said, maybe because of the way it's being spun. Like the guy I was speaking to yesterday was saying that he's met feminists who, well, they want you to be paying for everything, but they are very active on social media. Oh, kill the man.
We're
shut
coming
that-
back. Studio mics are up. Just remind them Hotyce is there. Nice one.
Yes, it feels good to be here on the Grapevine, and we have with us Hotyce. Feels good to have you here with us.
Pleasure is always mine. Still is mine.
So, what have you been up to, Hotyce, these days?
More recording sessions,
Okay.
a few collaborations, doing media runs, shooting videos, and I think that's it.
What do you find uncomfortable in Lagos in terms of entertainment industry?
Oh, in terms of entertainment.
Yes, you have a lot
You
to
have
say,
a
don't you?
mischievous smile on your face.
Yeah, speak your mind. It's
The
fine.
truth is, I try to avoid some of these industry cats because we have a whole lot of fake humble people out there.
Fake
Oh.
humble.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, fake humble.
Mm.
In your face, they're like, man, we need to protect you, but behind closed doors, they're the ones trying to do what it's not gonna make people
Mm.
mess with you out there. So that's I don't know. I don't want to use the word because we're on air, but that's messed up, man. That's messed up. That's messed
I
up.
think I know the word.
Yeah, I think we know
it's
the
a very
word.
nice word.
Now you talk about fake humble people, and
Yeah.
someone has described you as being humble. On so are you humble or are you?
I think am I
All
humble?
this
It's a trick
spotlight.
question.
I don't-
You know why?
Spotlight.
If you had said yes, of course I'm humble. Then
I mean, because I can't tell. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
left for
people have to tell, right?
Yeah, left
Interpret.
for people to say that, man.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, it's difficult for you to remain down to earth. It takes a lot of effort and consciousness to just remain being yourself after you've achieved fame, people hailing you, hey, Hotyce, and then you're still like, I'm the same
Yeah.
person that Valentine knew in Port Harcourt a few years back, is still the same Hotyce today.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, when the money hits the bag, people will say men are different. But do you see? I can't ask you that question right now. Let's wait till that time. Ask you when the 30 million hits your
30
account. But if the deal comes for you today, would you jump on that record label?
No, we have to review the terms and things, man.
What kind of
Just
terms?
kind
What would you like to see in a proper contract? Having a collaboration with any Nigerian label.
just getting the music out there more. Because I'm on a platform that's quite cool. Very cool. K2O Entertainment. and
K2.
K2O Entertainment.
K2O, okay.
Yeah. At least I get to put my music out, shoot videos, promote the music.
And keep it yourself as well.
Yeah, keep it myself as well. I have total control of my creative process and all that.
That's
so
brilliant.
yeah, so if anything coming through that is not going to be an additional plus, a reasonable additional plus, I wouldn't just jump on it. Yeah.
Do you write your own lyrics yourself?
Yep, I do.
You don't pay anybody to write?
No, I don't.
Because your lines are really good.
Thank you.
I'm glad you mentioned that
Yeah.
actually, because a number of people, Beyonce,
Yeah.
say that they write
Mhm,
their
mhm.
songs, but we know
I was
that
gonna
they
say
don't-
that. I was gonna
they
say
don't
that.
write their
So
songs.
like the big
And
high
it's
It's,
court.
it's music. Like I don't. There's nothing wrong with people writing it.
Yeah.
There's
Yes,
nothing wrong with
just
that.
own it.
Just own it, man.
All right.
Just own
Now,
it.
talking about fraud and people impersonating others, we have a story. It's funny, it's interesting, it's weird. So, Italian George Clooney fraudsters have been arrested in Thailand. So, here's the story, guys. 2 Italians accused of posing as US actor George Clooney to promote a fashion business have been arrested in Thailand after years on the run. So, they haven't just been doing this recently. They've been posing as superstar George Clooney and going around and making money out of that. So, I mean, apart from George Clooney finding out and the fact that he's happy that he's finally found people who are impersonating him, would you find it flattering if you found out that someone was going around in your name and acting as you?
It depends on the context. It depends. I mean, it could be in a hilarious context for me, but when it becomes a case of being a fraudulent matter, then that's where the content comes into play. But then that's one of the reasons why, just type your name in Facebook and just watch how many other names there are for you. Watch out. Some people will, instead of taking the Jeffrey, they'll use your middle name and then your surname. And then there's a Jeffrey K who is a woman who speaks French and insisting that her name is Jeffrey. Now, I get that, in my surname is also applicable in Liberia. I can understand those sort of situations. But I mean, like, just why can't you use your own name? Why is it that I can find an Instagram account with my full name on it and it's not my picture? You're Nigerian. We are definitely not related. You're a Yoruba person, impersonating an obvious Igbo man. I don't get it. So for me, the fraud thing is always a big issue. For Clooney's case, I mean, this thing was a situation whereby he was on the witness stand in 2010. 2010. These guys have been on the run for quite a long time, and they've escaped in a few places. For instance, one of them bribed the guards £500 equivalent and got out of jail on that basis. So
imagine how much money they made.
They've been selling Rolexes, but in actual fact, they've been selling boxes of salt. Yeah.
And the fact that George Clooney had to employ the services of Interpol had to weigh in on the matter to show the level that this thing went. So
hard work.
I know.
No, but Madame is a lawyer, Sha, so that power.
Exactly.
Very smart, guys. Very smart. But Hotyce, you were nodding your head when we were saying, "Oh, would you think it's flattering for a boy?" But when
until he said the fraudulent part, and I was like, yeah.
Have you had a situation where anyone was trying to impersonate you to get money from someone?
To get money. Okay, I had.
Sorry. What you were saying?
Okay, there was this situation back in 2012 where someone was performing, I think a particular track of mine in Ghana, for a small crowd, and I think he was doing that almost every month, and he was getting paid a certain amount.
Wow.
So
such an entrepreneur.
That was my fair share of
Did they pay you royalties or anything?
No, I got to find out through someone else. So I put a call through, and apparently it was someone I knew.
You're probably in Lagos.
Wow.
I was in ABJ then.
You're in Abuja. You heard you were performing
somewhere. I never left this city.
One time I tweeted Asafa Powell saying that I was offering to be his lookalike for Asafa Powell. He's a Jamaican sprinter, just recently retired. And he actually responded that he can manage. He said, "Me can manage, thanks." That's what he said. he did respond to that. This is years ago. I will never forget that moment. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow.
All right, so final question, guys. If you were to get money for impersonating someone or being someone's doppelganger, who would it be? Would you look like, don't lie. If you look like Nicki Minaj, don't say Beyonce. You look like Daddy Shoki. Don't say Yanya.
Personally, if I still had the locks I had before, I would say Michael B. Jordan anyway, because a few people have said that to me.
So proud.
Wow.
I mean, I don't work out for nothing.
Hotyce, I mean, you're Hotyce, so, well, just in case.
Just in case. Well, I've had a few people walk up to me and say, "Hey, dude, you remind me of Kendrick."
Lamar. I see the semblance.
Oh, you see? Okay, so.
Thank God you didn't say if you say so. Well, congratulations to Aramide, though, who's been inducted into the Recording Academy Governing Board of the Grammys. I was really happy to see this, especially with the message that she wrote to show how much pressure she came under. Sometimes you start questioning how well you're performing in the arts.
I mean, she's in there with a good caliber of people. She's got Mimuna Youssef, who was one of the writers for the Roots. She's a Grammy nominee. I've gone to sing with her one time as well, so I throw that one in there. And so, but they're both very artistic people in their writing. So the people that they put inside this definitely have been worth something in the industry, and it's definitely a great story to see.
Yes. Quick messages before we round up. Biggie from Ketsu says, "Happy Father's Day to Mr. Lakunle Churchill. I know he's trying hard to be a father to his son with a drama queen, and Naira Marley thinks he's Bob Marley. He forgot about his FCC Polly. Wow. Very soon his life will be sorry, Charlie."
Oh, dear.
Biggie, thank you.
Okay.
Dalvin says from Yaba, "Good morning, guys. Hotyce is indeed hot. He's absolutely international standard rapper. Please, where can we purchase his singles, EP or album?" Hotyce?
On all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer.
Wow.
I think we have Audio Mac, SoundCloud,
So you're everywhere. Just
So,
search
so,
Look it
so
up Google.
which single, EP, or album?
album.
All of them.
So the album is what's the title?
Red Hot Ice Cold Volume 1.
You have an EP
Red
out?
Hot Ice
That's
Cold.
the album.
That's the album.
Yeah,
That's
Red
right.
Hot
LP.
Ice Cold Volume 1. Fantastic.
That's
Right.
right.
So guys, plug in. Unfortunately, we come to the end of the show.
All right. Let's start with our
Let's
guest.
start. So just your final
Everywhere we
words.
can find you.
Shout out to everybody listening.
Social media.
For my social media handles, you can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, Facebook, with a handle at I am HOTYCE. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
Johnny Drill, could you please do a collaboration with Fumbi? That would be awesome. That would be
Yes.
absolutely
Yes.
awesome. Please do
Yes.
that. Make that happen. Otherwise, find me at ChefJeff3000 on Twitter and Instagram. And the menu is up for something I'm doing in 2 weeks from now. So have a look. Just start saving up. Paydays around the time, so you can still make it. And join me again next week on the Grapevine right here on Smooth 98.1.
And follow at Loose Audio and Loose Convo on Instagram, and of course we'll give you premium content.
Premium content. I feel like it's happening. I'm actually giving money to. No, people are not going to do for content. It's money. Tell them.
$1,000 every month
That's right.
until July.
All right. So you can find my artist at Mairo Ese on all social media platforms. Follow him, buy his
seriously.
music on all platforms as Hotyce has mentioned. But Lagos, we're still here. Lagos Talks 91 in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
It's live on the